Hi guys. So I'm gonna wait for some more people to join us before we start some of the questions that I got, and I'm gonna get my notes ready while everybody else gets on. Hey Nikki, I see you, Regina. So if you guys have any questions now, you guys can start typing them in. I'm going to... Hi, Miss Sharon. I'm gonna I have notes, but if you guys want to start texting questions, and I'll write them down and we'll answer them as I go. Hi guys. So if anyone has any questions, type them at the bottom. I'll see them and I'll write them down. For lower back pain. For lower back pain, I have an icy hot rub, and I also have a black pepper oil that's great for muscle relaxing. I have a couple different herbs. It depends on how sensitive your skin is. And also some different stretches too that'll help with lower back pain. I'll probably do a video on that. I'll probably have, when Brianna gets home, probably have her record me doing some different stretches that'll help with the legs and back pain. But my black pepper oil is definitely a good one. Actually, I have a couple pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook of another oil which I soaked cayenne pepper and hot peppers in. So that's also good for any type of lower back pain or muscles. Wintergreen oil is good. Peppermint oil is good. I had a little brain fart. I have a couple of them. No, actually, you don't have to get in the tub for them. You can rub them. They're all rubs. Either I can do a massage oil or I could do a salve. And the spicy icy hot one is like in a salve form. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I love you. So, a couple questions that ignore the boxes in the background. I just got done unpacking some more products. So another thing I want to talk about at the end of this is some new things that I have coming out. Love you. Mwah. So I had got a couple questions from different females over the weeks. I emptied out my Healing Roots inbox. I totally forgot about it. Sorry, guys. I really do apologize. Different questions that they had about natural remedies for certain things. And a lot of women were like, I don't even want to ask my doctor these things. Like, it's really embarrassing. What can I do to take care of this at home? So I do have some natural remedies for certain feminine situations and problems. Some skin conditions that I wanted to go over. Someone asked me the difference between eczema and psoriasis and what can they do about it. So let me get my notes together. So first question I had was about BV. If you don't know what BV is, it's bacterial vaginosis. So pretty much when you have an overgrowth of bacteria in your vagina. So do not douche. If you use douche, please stop douching. Douching messes up your pH balance so bad in your vagina. Please don't mess up your vajayjay, ladies. Don't do it. So what I recommend, I do have a pH shower wash. Please, 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 if you have these situations, we could sit down and have a consultation, but do not douche. Do not add any extra oils down there if you don't really know the mixture ratio. Your vagina is supposed to be acidic. As much as I talk about alkaline diet, your vaginal area, should not be alkaline. It should be acidic. My bro said, I'm gone. I walked in on the wrong part of the conversation. So This is great for your husbands to know these type of things. So do not douche. You have good bacteria and bad bacteria. You need a balance down in your vaginal area, ladies. Yogurt, I know I talk about being vegan all the time, but if you're still eating yogurt or any dairy products, yogurt, you could take probiotics, tea tree oil. Only thing I say about being careful with tea tree oil can be very irritating sometimes when it's directly put onto the skin. I do put a drop of that in German chamomile oil I use in the pH Balance body wash. So if you are having these problems, you can inbox me. We can have a consultation to figure out what's going on. But please do not listen to stop douching. You're messing up your pH balance. Do not make the at-home suppositories. Or I had one lady tell me that she was making at-home tampons and leaving them in for maybe an hour or two. Negative. Do not do that. That is so bad, and it messes up your balance. So don't do suppositories. Don't douche. Don't use tampons. Don't stick anything in your vagina that should not be in there. Leave it there. So tea tree, garlic. My brother is like, I am out. Fenugreek. Fenugreek is awesome. If you use fenugreek while you're breastfeeding, it produces milk. But fenugreek is so great for so many other things. Whether it's in powder form, whether you drink it as a tea, it helps balance your immune system out. And it also strengthens it. Sage is great for your immune system. I know some of you seen that I make the sage smudges. Just burning sage. I burn sage for my apartment is very old. So if I'm running my heat or my air conditioners, we may not have great filters to filter out your air, especially if you have asthma, if you're always coughing, if you always find yourself getting sick. Just burning sage, just like you burn incense, really purifies the air. But sage also strengthens your immune system. It builds it up. So that sage and fenugreek are great if you're experiencing BV, yeast infections. Drink plenty of water. Certain types of underwear, if you're using the polyester underwear, the mixed material underwear, cut it out. Don't do that. Cotton, or just go bare. Free balling is not a bad thing. Let your vajayjay breathe. Don't wear underwear when you go to bed, unless it's that time of the month. But try to let your vagina breathe as much as it possibly can. That way you can avoid BV and overgrowth. Sage that you get from the store. Actually, answering questions. Going back to the sage. Be careful where you buy your sage from. And I don't recommend the sage seasoning. Actually getting, my sister's stupid. She's good for free balling. Buying sage, organic sage that doesn't have GMO in it. I have a couple carriers that I get sage from. You can inbox me, or Miss Sharon, I'll text you off of Etsy, and I burn it. It's very good. It has a very strong pungent smell, and it does get rid of, once the odor dies down, you can tell the difference in your air. You ever have that stale feeling, that stale smell in the air? It smells a lot fresher, and it gives you a real earthy smell in your house. So I love the smell of sage, especially when frankincense and myrrh oil I usually burn on top of my sage, or you can use different types of oils. But usually that's what's sage, cedar, blue or white sage helps purify the air. The underwear question. So cotton underwear or free balling. Sometimes if you're very sensitive in that area, using the mixed polyester, whatever else they have out there, can be very irritating, and it's not letting your vagina breathe. That is the most important thing, is letting your vagina breathe. Watching what type of soaps you use. I actually had, what was it? I actually had a person tell me using Dove was the best soap. And I'm like, no, negative. No. Making your own types of soap. And actually, I'm learning how to make black soap, which I'm going to do a couple test runs maybe within the next month or so. But Dove has so many freaking chemicals in there. Stop using Dove. Start doing research. Okay, this is my challenge that I give you. if you're using a name brand soap, if you can't pronounce half the stuff that's in it, stop using it. If you have to go and Google what is in your soap, stop using it. What about Shea Moisture Black Soap and Shea Butter Black Soap? I'm trying to be nice about this. Okay, so I have nothing against the Shea Moisture and LOL, that means negative. Yeah, Nikki, you got it. To me, if you're not making it yourself or buying it from someone that knows what they're doing, I don't trust anything. I've become so conscious of what I buy and what I'm using. If I don't, you can tell me a lot of things are all natural or all organic. That made me totally something that could be telling me something else to somebody, to you. Natural and organic to me means there's no processing, no preservatives, no anything. I need this to be in the natural state that it was in. So like when I'm learning to make black soap, really all it is cooking the plantain skins and adding other essential oils to it. If you have to tell me I have to use the plantains and add this type of glycerin and then I have to add all these preservatives and basically it should not have it. Exactly. So pretty much if this product is going to last years on your shelf, you should not be using it. Too many chemicals. If the shelf life is maybe a month or two, and a lot of stuff that people have bought from me, I tell them, put it in the refrigerator. I don't use water as a base in anything that I use. My body butters, my shampoos, my washes. Water can pretty much germinate. Bacteria, things can start festering in and it gets nasty. So if it's a water base in there, best believe there's preservatives. There's something in there that's chemical that's going to make it have a long shelf life. Also, see alcohol and stuff. Yeah, negative on that, all that, no stace. So if you see that something has alcohol, I don't use alcohol in anything. If it's not witch hazel or some products, I do use peroxide, but I think it's like the 3 or 7% peroxide that I use. Alcohol, I'm not a fan of alcohol. You'll see that I'm not a fan of apple cider vinegar anymore. Apple cider vinegar, if you're going to use it externally for, let's say, moles, skin tags. As a hair, I use it as a hair detox with my daughter to get rid of dandruff, to cleanse your scalp. Baking soda, I don't use to ingest either. Yeah, the apple cider baking soda vinegar thing. Yeah, use that just as for hair and skin. Don't use that to ingest it. That's going to be a totally another lesson of how that turns your body acidic. So that one's a no. So yeast infections and BV. Coconut oil. If you know me, I use coconut oil on everything. Coconut oil is like the next best thing to black seed oil. It fixes everything. It literally does. I use it to brush my teeth. I use it in all my bases. I use it in my deodorant. I use coconut oil. Yeah, I use coconut oil in everything. But coconut oil is antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. So, couple drops of coconut oil while you're in the bathtub with the tea tree, the chamomile. I also have it in the wash. It'll help with the BV and the yeast infections. So, before we move on to the next thing, 'cause I know one of my sisters wants to talk about the vaginal steamers. Any questions, ladies? Okie dokie. So, I know everybody's been waiting for the vaginal steamers, and they're on their way. I still have to test some things. I'm very picky about where I get my herbs from. If they don't look right, if they don't smell right, or if you can't tell me where you grew them, or if you're growing them yourself and you tell me you're using pesticides, or when I get them, they don't work properly, I'm not giving them to you. What I do want with my products, and I know it's taking a lot longer than what I would like for a lot of the stuff to come out, is because a lot of the sellers cannot tell me where, if they're growing them, what they're using, what they're putting in their soil, if they spray them with pesticides, what's in the soil, how they treat it after they're cut or how they're processed. Yeah, so I did a batch of teas. I know a lot of people went for detoxes. The Senna did not work correctly. One of the people that was testing for me experienced a lot of cramping and bloating, which sometimes Senna does do that, but not to the extent that what she was feeling. I don't want you to be uncomfortable while detoxing. Yes, if you are backed up, it is going to cause some type of cramping, but not to what she was doing. So, one of the herbs in the vaginal steamer that I have, the calendula flower, and I know some people have seen me use the calendula flower as a salve. So, that one is a go. That one's good. I did find a good one. The mugwort and the wormwood, I haven't found a good, no. Those two are good for your immune system, so I definitely want to find a non-GMO organic seller. Those two are just more than just for the vaginal steamers. I would use them in teas and salves and people that have weak immune systems. The basil and oregano and my marshmallow root. Marshmallow root, I haven't found a good buyer for it yet either. So the vaginal steams is a couple herbs I have put together. I would like to have a whole kit so I can sit down and do an actual teaching on how to use them. But just quickly, if anybody want to know what a vaginal steamer is, pretty much it's herbs that you pour hot water into, like you would do tea to steep, and you're sitting over a stool, or preferably is like the hospital chairs, and you're covering yourself with the towel and literally steaming your vagina, pretty much to bring yourself back into balance. So yeah, those things are definitely still in the testing period with. So the only thing right now I have for vaginal problems is the pH balance wash, which has been doing good. So I'm going to stick with this formula for it. So since we're still on vaginal problems, cramps. So if anyone's familiar with Mountain Rose has a cramp bark that is really good, and I definitely need to order some. But in the meantime, before I get anything, if you have really bad cramps, do the cramp bark. You can steep it as a tea, and that also works. Or you can make compresses for your stomach, so that is also good. So anybody else have any questions before I move on? Okay, so sorry guys. So for upcoming products, the stretch mark salve and the breast lifting cream will be ready next month. Still doing a lot of testing with that. So far, so good. Don't have any complaints. I just put out the coconut and lime deodorant, which has been doing excellent. And the antifungal foot soak and the antifungal foot salve has been doing awesome. If you guys haven't looked at that, I have uploaded the hair growth serum, the hair custard, and the gel. Thank you, Regina. And to Charlene, who was testing it out for me. I am going to make a lighter version of that this weekend for my 2C to 3C hair natural folks. What else can I think of? I think that was all the questions that I had. I think I pretty much covered. Okay. I got you. I'll inbox you. A matter of fact, I'm going to upload that. I'm going to upload a couple of my muscle salves tonight also. I do have specialty products. That's why I tell people to do consultations. I have not uploaded all my products onto the website. I have over 50 products, and that would be a lot for someone to sit and go through the way this website is set up. So, what do you have for growing hair? I have a hair growth serum that I will be putting up tonight. It's a jojoba based olive oil, grapeseed, and it has black seed oil in there. I'm going to do a lesson on black seed oil very soon. Black seed oil is also, it's like another, it's like, well, it's not like another coconut oil, but it's great for everything, cures everything but death. So that's going to be another lesson that's going to be coming up. But definitely, if you need, I'll inbox you, Miss Sharon, about the hair growth and the muscle relaxant. Definitely have you on those too. Does anybody have any questions, any concerns? Alrighty, so if that's it, guys, inbox me. Facebook, Healing Roots. Periscope for His Glory 87. Twitter is For His Glory. On Facebook, Yasmin Tiara McCrary, my whole name. Or you can hit me up on Healing Roots. My Instagram is Holistic Roots 87. My Tumblr is Holistic Roots 87. The website, the links are all in my bio or on my business page. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, inbox me. If I don't know, I could definitely find out for you. God bless, guys. Love you, and thanks for joining me.